Hi, I'm Bill Johnston with Kansas Corn. You guys have a lesson called Structurally Speaking that is designed to teach you about the different parts of a corn plant and their jobs. Last fall, I went out and pulled up a full mature corn plant and washed its roots completely off. I'm going to show you that today from top to bottom and talk about these structures that are in this lesson and what their jobs are. This is a fully mature corn plant that I dug up out of a cornfield last fall. At its full height, it was probably 10 feet tall, which means it would reach from the ground to a basketball goal. But as it matured and dried up, it got shorter, but it's still probably about 8 feet tall. I'm going to start at the top of this plant and work my way down, identifying the major parts and their job. We'll start out here with the tassel. The tassel is the male part of the plant that provides the pollen that will fertilize the female part of the plant that we'll talk about in a little bit. As we move down, in this case, the stalk is what we call the stem of corn, and it's what holds all the parts together. Then, of course, there's a corn leaf, and its job is to catch sunlight and photosynthesize to produce food and energy for the plant. As we move on down the plant, we'll see the node, and the node is the growing point on the corn plant, and the corn plant has several of these. If we move up, you'll see another one right there. As we move on down the plant to the ear of corn, you'll see this husk, which is a modified leaf that protects the ear of corn inside of it. And at the end of this ear of corn, you'll see the silk. The silk is hair-like. It sticks out at the end of the ear of corn, and the pollen lands on it. Every kernel has a silk. If we move on down this plant, we'll get to the roots. Corn has basically two types of roots. The brace roots that are above the ground that support this plant. See, corn, because it's so tall, sometimes can be blown over, and over time, through genetic development, we've developed these brace roots that help strengthen and hold the corn plant up. And below those are the taproot system, or roots that are under the ground absorbing moisture. And then, of course, we've got this individual corn kernel that came from the ear of corn. And what fascinates me is that this single kernel of corn holds all the genetic potential to grow an entire plant. The potential number of leaves are already determined, and inside of this plant, it's all there already. The white portion of that seed is the embryo. That's the baby inside that corn seed. All of these parts play a very important role in the survival and success of this plant growing. Now, as you do this lesson, hopefully you can relate to these parts and understand how each one of them works. Good luck.